Whenever you're down, out in the cold, faithless and dark, your story's untold. Come take my hand and walk there with me. I know a place where we can.
Hi guys, welcome to Too Cute for Cancer. Are you surprised to see me out of the hospital bed and at home sitting with my cows? You guys can't really see the cows from here, can you? And I can't move the camera because it took me literally 30 minutes to set you guys up. So we are not touching this camera until we are done. So anyway, welcome to Too Cute for Cancer. My name is Jody, and if this is your first time here, welcome. Just a little bit about myself. I have been living with stage 4 cancer for a very long time. And actually, I've been stage 4 for 13 years. I went back and actually checked because the years keep clocking on, and I'm thinking, oh wow, it's not 5 years anymore. It's like sped up to 13 years. I have been living with cancer. I was diagnosed over 20, my daughter is 27 now, and she was almost 3 when I was diagnosed. So 25 and a half years. That was my first diagnosis. However, I was in remission for 8 years. So, you know, I didn't, but still a very long time. Anyway, and right now I have seized all of traditional medicine and I am doing a holistic medicine. So if you'd like to hear my whole story from start to finish, I will post a link up here and you guys can see it start to finish in chronological order. I have condensed all of my 200 and something videos that I have, and I put my story into 3 videos in chronological order, so you could not have to watch all 200. Thank you very much. Okay, now let's get down to it. Today is part 2 of question and answers, Q&A, and I said, hold on, I have to open my phone with my face. I said, ask me anything, and so you guys did. You asked me anything. So let me see. Let's get started. Oh, before we get started, just let me tell you something awesome. Okay, I have been taking these CBD Gummies, strawberry. Look at this. Pretty box too. By Premium Jane. It is, let's see, how many? I thought it was 1,500 milligrams, but I think I'm wrong. It is 25, yeah, 15 milligram bottle. That makes a difference. 25 milligram broad spectrum vegan cubes. Okay. I have taken a million of these everyone sends them to me and says, oh, you need to take these. These will help you sleep. This will help with your pain. And I'm like, never. Okay. This stuff, I took them, I started a week ago taking these. And you guys know how I struggle a lot to sleep. Well, guess what? I have been sleeping straight through the night with these puppies. So, I mean, I have taken sleeping pills, I have done everything, and I still wake up like every 2 hours in pain, and I have to like walk, stretch, get in the bathtub, relax, you know. And now I take 2 at bedtime and it relaxes me. And then I do have to take my regular pain medicine, the stuff that I'm on like regular, but my nurse, my palliative care nurse said that it was perfectly fine, no worries. So I've been doing it, and what it does is it relaxes my body and allows the pain medicine to work better. That's what my nurse said, and it makes sense because it worked. So anyway, and I'm bending over because my I've had the heck of a time getting you guys up here today. My stand broke in half, so I am trying to hunch down so I can be on camera. That is so annoying. If I sit up, I can't be in the range. So anyway, sorry about that. So anyway, I just thought I would share that. Totally awesome. I don't know if I have a link. I will look and see if I do have a link, and I'll put it down in the description box. If I don't have it now, be patient and I will look for one. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you that because I was so excited. All right, now let's get down to it. Okay, now Beth has been asking questions for quite some time. And I tried to get her in part 2, and there was just too many questions, and I didn't get her questions in. So, and then she had more questions for this time. So what I'm gonna do is start with Beth so I do not run out of time and not answer her questions. Okay, so Beth, this is for you, sweetheart. And also Beth is a special needs teacher. So she has my heart. I worked in the special ed room teaching deaf and blind for 10 years back in the day. Back in my day. All right, so Beth asked, when other spoken languages are interpreted, I speak and then the interpreter says it in a different language. Is ASL, American Sign Language, interpreted simultaneously, or is it question? Okay, Beth, this is the answer. And for anybody else that's interested in what I do for a living, other than this channel is my living, but my career for 30 years was an ASL teacher, art teacher, ASL interpreter. Okay, all right. It depends on the student. If you have an interpreter there, which you should, then you don't, okay, hold on, back up. I was starting on the second question. Okay, so yes, it depends on the topic, the situation. Like if I am doing lecturing, like standing on stage with a lecture, then I do simultaneously, and I have to boom, 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 have to keep up. And it's not word for word, it's a completely different language. So what I do is I listen, and it's called lag time. I hold it for a couple seconds, and then boom, I interpret. But it's all done at the same time as the speaker, okay, simultaneously. But in court now, a lot of times, it is more consecutive interpreting. For example, the judge says blah, 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 the lawyer says blah, 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 then there's a pause, I hold, make sure I understand it, and then I put it out. And it's more consecutive because it's just too much and too much difficulty trying to do it simultaneously and not mess up or miss something. So that is how it goes. Now with students, most of the time it is, if it's one-on-one, then it can be either or depending on the student, depending on the age. So I hope that answers your question. Now, this is also for Beth. And then also she said, is it helpful to have an outline of what you plan to teach, especially vocabulary words? Absolutely, yes. Your interpreter will love you. Your interpreter can have it, the student can have it, depending on the age. I don't know what age you're teaching, but yes, absolutely helpful. You just can't give it to them to read because it's English and, it's just interpreter. Okay. Okay, if I know the sign, say an animal word or something like that, is it okay if I sign it? Okay, so if you have an interpreter, then you shouldn't sign anything. You should just speak and let the interpreter do her or his job. Because what happens is you might learn like a word here and there and throw it out there, but it's the way that language is put together, it follows the French language, just if anybody knows, and it's a conceptual language. So what happens is you might put the word in at the wrong time, and then if they're looking at that and they're watching the interpreter, it can just totally mess it up, basically. So I would say no. Now, if you are working alone with a student and assigned to something, then yeah, they love it and go for it. But if you're teaching and you haven't, the interpreter should do their job and you do your job. So, but as a special needs teacher, I do know that it's very hard to get an interpreter depending on what age group and stuff. So there's that. So, okay, now, and probably more, it would probably be more of a one-on-one, a liaison, assistant signing aid or something like that. So, okay. Now, but somebody who knows the language should be doing the signing. That's what I'm saying. Okay, now, what is the best way for a deaf child to be taught to read? Okay, I love this question. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to get me going on my favorite subject in the entire world. Do not try to teach a deaf child phonics. Oh my goodness. Okay, so deaf children cannot learn phonetically. Even if they have some hearing, it is still extremely hard. It's like asking a blind person to see just a little bit. Hello, it doesn't work. So, phonetics, no. Okay, so the E, long E, short E, blah, blah, blah. The best way for a deaf child to learn to read is by rote, by memory. So they just literally have to memorize the rules of the language, which is so hard because English is built on phonetic language. So pictures, concepts. So beginning before the deaf child can learn to read, they need a strong grasp of a home language, which means they need to have strong ASL skills. They have to know their own language, have a language before they start learning a second language, if that makes sense. So, but when they are at that point, then it would be by rote, by memory, by visualization, by cues, cue cards, concepts, tenses, yeah, and you have to work with an ASL interpreter for that. There is just no way to do that. I mean, it's like, how would you teach English to a Spanish-speaking child if you didn't know anything about their language, if they didn't have the language first of some kind? So I hope that makes sense, Beth. Okay, so now I'm done with that. I could go forever, but I hope that answers your question, Beth. All right, now, wow, you guys really jumped into it here. Am I pro-life or pro-choice? I am pro-life and proud of it. I believe that God is the only one who can take a life, and He is the life giver. So that is my answer. I won't debate it with anybody. That is 100% my answer. Okay, now, number 5. What do you and your husband do for fun? Grandchildren. We have 6 grandchildren now, and one adopted grandchild, foster grandchild. My foster daughter, Brittany. Hi, Brittany. Her and her mate have a 3-month-old baby boy. Hi, Charlie. So we have adopted him as our grandchild too. So I have actually 7 now grandchildren. Anyway, grandchildren is what we do for fun, and we both have YouTube channels. So we like go to workshops, training, things like that. Just stuff to keep us both moving and mind going, that type of thing. We like to we go to church. We sing together. My husband has amazing voice. I mean, You hear him, you'll cry, I'm telling you. I'll have to post a link for one of his songs. Anyway, so that's how we met, was through music. So anyway, yes, we sing together, and we create content together, and we enjoy our grandchildren. All right, now what did you do? What did you and, oh, Crispy Critter asked, what did you and hubby do for fun prior to cancer? Okay, well, totally different from what we do now. Let me tell you. Skydiving. That was one of our things. We love to go skydiving. We went skydiving with all of our children for each one of their 18th birthday. It was like a family thing. Surfing. Me, I like to surf. He just liked to sit and watch me surf. He's not really a beach person. Hiking, love to go hiking. Rappelling. Trying to think of other stuff. Long walks. Carrie, intuitive. Carrie from Terminal Doesn't Mean Goodbye just texted me, said, hey love, how are you doing? That means she's doing good enough to text me. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, that's kind of the stuff we used to do. Sing. We used to sing at different events like weddings. We've done over 200 and something weddings that we've sang at together. Duets. So that's something we used to do. We still have done it here and there, but my health just hasn't been good enough for it. All right. Is you having cancer the reason you adopted? No. I adopted prior to finding out that I had cancer. We birthed 2 kids and then adopted 2 kids. And the reason for that is we wanted more children, and I was having a really hard time keeping a baby. I had 8 miscarriages in the span of 5 years, and it was just really hard. And what really just kind of broke the camel's back was we were pregnant with twin girls, and I miscarried at 5 months. And it was just devastating, and I just could not at all do it again. I couldn't try again. And then one day we were in the car. I was in the car, and he was in a separate car. He was in the police car, actually. I was just driving down, and I was listening to KSGN, which was actually, I think, K-Wave back there, then Christian channel. And they were saying they had this little baby crying in the background. And it says, who will be Jesus to baby Jessica? And then it had an ad for foster care. And instantly, I just was like, we could do that. We could help other babies, and then we could give them back. I mean, oh my gosh, All right. I didn't think my husband would go for that at all. We had never talked about adoption, ever talked to him when we got home. And I said, I got something kind of to throw your way. And I'm not really sure that you're really going to like it. I'm not sure, but I just feel like God has put this on my heart, and I think we need to talk about it. Okay. He said, well, before you say that, I've got something to talk to you about. I'm like, okay. And he says, you go first. And I started talking. He goes, Olive Crest. And I was like, Olive Crest, you heard the same commercial. So anyway, we just knew it was to be. So we at first we thought we were just going to adopt, but then we found out that a majority of the kids never go back to their parents. They stay in the system for a long time. Sometimes they age out, and they need adoptive families desperately bad. So we said, okay, we're there, let's adopt. So we filled out the paperwork, and we thought we were going to be on a list for years. Within 6 months, we had a baby boy. That was my son, Michael. So it was meant to be. And then 2 years later, we adopted my daughter, Summer, at birth as well. So, nope, not because of cancer, because just God's plan. All right. Let's see. Do your kids have the same faith as you and your husband? Yes, they do. We differ in some things, but yes, we have the same faith. Yeah, my daughter-in-laws, my kids met their spouses, all three of them met their spouses at church. So, yep, we do. And all of us go to the same church except for my daughter Summer, who used to go to the same church, but now they moved. They're in Seattle, so they go to their own church. So, yeah, same religion, we're non-denominational. Christian non-denominational. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. CCC, how much time? We only have a couple minutes. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 more, and then we're gonna have to cut it off and maybe do a part 3 at another time, because I'm still got like a long time. I talked too much at the beginning. I'm so sorry. Anyway, do your kids have the same thing? Cancer brain. Okay, so do I want to die at home or in a hospice home? Okay, I have thought about this a million times over, and I don't know. I mean, right now I say I want to die at home. When I went on hospice years ago, 5 years ago to be exact, I think. Don't quote me on that. My time spans are all mixed up in my brain. I was told that there's nothing else they can do for me, that if I didn't want more treatment, which it was pretty bleak, you know, you're gonna die in 18 months. That's what they told me. So they set up hospice. That's why I have a hospital bed. Somebody said, no, it's not a hospital bed. It's a electric bed or whatever. It's like, no, it's a hospital bed. Paid, insurance. They set me up in a separate room, and they had everything all set up, and I had prepared myself and my family. I was gonna die at home. I didn't die. Still here. So that was my decision then. Now as an interpreter, I have interpreted a lot of medical, and I've interpreted a lot of deaths. And after seeing the process and how harsh it can be, not always, but it's hard on the loved ones. It's really hard. I'm gonna leave that up to my family. I want them to do whatever they feel that they can handle, and what they can do. I have things in place for when that time comes, and I'm going to have other people in charge of carrying out my wishes, like a death doula type of thing, so I can still be assured that my last wishes are carried out, even though I'm not physically in the home to do it. You know what I mean? So it depends on my husband. If he wants me here, then I'll be here. But if he wants, it depends on what he can handle. So I don't know. I really don't have an answer, you guys. I'm sorry about that. Okay, this is the last one. Has your cancer threatened your marriage at any time? No, absolutely not. It's strengthened it, but it has put enormous stress on it, and it has been, it's just been very stressful at times. Stressful financially. We have used all of our retirement for medical, for treatment that wasn't covered by insurance, to pay for insurance. So financial hardship, I think, puts a lot of stress on a lot of couples. So yeah, so not really the physical part of it, other than watching me suffer and then trying to, I mean, it's just really hard, very hard, but it's never threatened our marriage, it's just strengthened our marriage. So that's that. So now, you guys, I hope I answered your questions. I answered them honestly. I ask that you guys don't attack me in the comments. I know most of you will be very respectful. I don't want to hear anybody's criticism about what I do or don't believe or how I want to die, or I just don't. So please be respectful. All right. Okay, that is it for today. Now, if you are not following me, I don't know if you're going to want to follow me after today. The last two videos, I was stuck in bed. I am up now. I have been doing my vitamin C again. I've been feeling great. Getting some sleep has really, really, really helped. I go back to work tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. I had my granddaughter, grandson, and older granddaughter today for a few hours and babysat, and that was just amazing. Just held that sweet, precious little baby in my arms. Oh, I just kept smelling her little head. I wish we could just bottle that. It was the best. So I'm feeling much better to enjoy my grandbabies, which is, you know, basically what I always want. And Premium Jane CBD Gummies. I love you. I will look for a link. Can't promise, but I'm gonna look. All right, you guys, that's it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. It is Friday as I'm talking to you, and I will see you guys on Tuesday with a actual vlog. I am up and running, and knock on wood, I stay that way for a few more days. You never know. Don't know. Okay, you guys, I love you all. Take care. This is Too Cute for Cancer signing off.
Whenever you're down